Does rank and rent work if you're not based? Let me think if I can figure this out. If you're not based in the United States of America, can you do rank and rent? Does it work outside the United States? I get this question all the time. I hear it in the comments. I hear it in the Facebook group. I hear it in the Discord channel. I hear it on, oh my gosh. And for those of us that have been in this game for a while, it's a laughable question because all of us know people that are crushing it. And so the answer is yes. Yes, you can crush it. Yes, you can do it. Not in the United States. Now, there's two different factors to this. There's the people that are asking, hey, can I do it if I live outside the United States? And there's people that are asking, can I do it targeting other countries? Can I actually put up websites in Australia, rank them, and rent them out? Or do I need to target the United States? And first and foremost, what I want to say is this, and this is just my belief, but I believe when people are asking that question, not always, but most of the time, they're asking that question for one of two reasons. Reason number one is they're trying to give themselves a reason. They're trying to give themselves a fallback. If they fail, if they try this business model and they decide to not go all in, they decide to not make it work, and they decide to pull out of it, they will have a reason. They can say, oh my gosh, well, it would work, but I'm not in the U.S. or I'm not targeting the U.S., and that's why it doesn't work. That's reason number one. And then the second reason why I believe people ask this question is they're trying to give themselves a reason why they shouldn't start yet. Okay, yes, I want to do rank and rent, but I'm not in the U.S. and I'll be in the U.S. next year and then I'll start. What that is, that's just fear. They're just trying to prolong the inevitable. Guys, at some point, you have to actually pick up the phone. You have to start doing it. You have to start setting up pages. You have to start running ads. You have to start talking to humans. It's called business, okay? So that's just a side note. I believe that question for most people is one of those two things. And if I just said that and you're like, oh my gosh, he just called me out, you might want to end this video because this video is going to expose you, and I'm going to tell you exactly why that's not a valid reason why you shouldn't start. So yes, and yes, you can do this. Obviously, from anywhere in the world. You could be living in Thailand, you could be living in Europe, you could be living wherever. You just need an internet connection and you need Wi-Fi, or that's the same thing. You need Wi-Fi and you need a dream, baby. That's it. That's all you need, period. End of story. It doesn't matter where you're based, obviously. Second part is, can you do this exact same model in other countries? Will it work in other countries? And the answer is yes, not because I believe that or because it's some theory or because, oh, I think it'll work, but because we literally have in my program, we literally have students that are absolutely destroying it in other countries. This is just some of the people I can think of off the top of my head. I have somebody right now that is crushing it in Canada, okay? And Canada is right above the United States, but they are actually targeting people in Canada, Canadian businesses, right? I know multiple people in Australia that are in my program that are killing it. I've got one student I have two students making over 20K. I've got another student that I can think of right off the top of my head that's making 10K. And then I have another just friend of mine. He's actually not a student, and I know he's making 30K. Crushing it. And these are people that live in Australia, targeting Australia, doing the business model in Australia. Not that they live in Australia and they're doing business in the US. They are actually doing it in Australia. Okay. So we have examples of people doing this in all sorts of different countries. Now, I will say, okay, because I'm not trying to be, Mr. Optimistic, head in the sky, whatever. There are going to be challenges with each country, right? So for example, if you decide that you're going to target a country that's kind of off the radar, right? The good part is you're not going to have to deal with much competition. Like here in the US, we're dealing with everybody else is trying to get deals, right? The part that might be a little bit more tough, and I know for those Australian people in the beginning, according to them, because I've never targeted Australia because I live here. Why I don't need to. I'm still making all the money I need to here in the United States. But from talking to them, the challenge was it was a little bit tougher to find people that were bought in and sold on advertising compared to the US. But I also, as I say that, I don't know if these people had ever targeted the US. So I don't know if they were just using what they had heard and comparing it, but I don't think they'd actually targeted the US. So I think that could also be in their head. But you just have to realize there's going to be different challenges in different countries. But yes, the business model will work. Now, if we're talking about very, very poor countries, like I just barely got back from Africa, that country specifically, the majority of people do not have any reason to look something up online. They don't even have concrete that needs to be poured. So in that situation, you're probably not going to be able to target concrete and put up a one pager. It's just not going to work, right? So you have to use your head and be within reason. But for those 99% of people that are watching this, you're probably not in a country like that. You're probably in a country like Australia, maybe somewhere in Europe. Maybe you're in South America. This business model, humans, right? And the cool part is about some of these countries is you can kind of watch what's being done in the US and what's popular and what's happening. And you can see these other countries kind of follow suit, but they're a couple of years behind. So you almost have this unfair advantage because you know what's going to happen. So anyway, the answer to the question is yes, you can do this in other countries. You can do this from other countries targeting the US. It does not matter what you decide to do. But the cool part is, and I have examples of all of this. I have a guy in my program, his name's Brian. He lives in Australia. He has the coolest accent. He sounds like Conor McGregor, and he's crushing it from Ireland in the U.S. I know that this very first deal, he landed a $2,000 per month concrete deal in Texas, and he did it from Ireland. He didn't pretend he wasn't sitting in Ireland or he wasn't Irish. He sounds like he's from Ireland, and he's cold calling from his Ireland number. Guys, this will work. We're in a world and an economy and in like a time where people don't really care like you think they do. If you can get them results, if you can get them leads and they are interested in buying leads, they don't care where you're sitting, what you sound like, results speak. You can do this from anywhere in the world, and I've got success case studies to prove it. That is the answer to the question. So for those of you that are using that as an excuse, I'm sorry, but that is not an excuse. Get involved. The time is now. The sun has never been shining brighter. Make hay while the sun shines, and I'll see you guys soon.